Random fact. Did you guys know that most people give up on their New Year's resolutions by January 10th? That is only 10 days into the new year. That means that you only tried for like 10 days and then you decide, this isn't for me, and then you just end up quitting, which kind of sucks because, you know, it's a New Year's resolution and you think you're going to carry it on to the end of the year. At least that's the goal of a New Year's resolution, right? Is to make some sort of decision that you are going to stick to for 365 days. And that is really, really difficult to do. So what I want to do today is I want to give you 5 tips to keep you motivated. So you may think that this video is a lot different than most of my other beauty videos, you know, product reviews, hair, stuff like that, but really it's not, because a lot of times we make resolutions about ourselves, for ourselves, to help better ourselves, you know, from the inside out. And I'm all about that, and I'm all about, you know, having each individual grow. I think that healthy things grow, and as a person we want to evolve and grow ourselves so that we can become better wives, husbands, sisters, girlfriends, boyfriends, daughters, sons, better friends, whatever the case may be. So hopefully these 5 tips will help you in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so tip number 1. Have a vision. This is so important when it comes to New Year's resolutions or any goal in general. I'm going to talk about just goals in general, having goals in life, whatever the case may be. Have a really clear vision, and that means you might have to take a day, a couple days, sometimes a week. Just get away from all the noise. Get away from what other people are telling you need to do. Get away from what, you know, the media is telling you need to do, and really focus on what it is that you want to do for yourself. What is it that you really want? What do you want to accomplish? And when you have that clear vision, make sure that it's a concrete vision. So when I was reading through the New Year's resolutions that you guys were writing on my January giveaway, a lot of people said they wanted to get healthier, they wanted to lose weight. So I'll probably use that one as an example, because that seems to be the one that is the most prevalent just in general throughout the country, is people want to get healthy or they want to lose weight. Okay, well that's going to look very different for a lot of different people. For somebody who maybe is, you know, generally fine, they're, you know, a generally okay person, they don't have any sort of sicknesses, then getting healthy might mean that they want to add more fruits and vegetables in their diet. That's perfect. For somebody, however, who has like a chronic illness or maybe like diabetes or maybe has high cholesterol, well, that person, getting healthy to them is going to look a lot different. So determine what that looks like for you. If you want to get healthy, well, what does that mean? Say, okay, getting healthy means that I want to add more leafy greens into my diet, or getting healthy means that I want to drop my cholesterol total by 20 points, or I want to lose 10 pounds so that I can have a healthy BMI. Whatever the case is, make sure that it's a concrete, solid vision, and don't just make a general statement, because a lot of times general statements, they don't work. When we say, okay, I want to lose weight, well, losing weight is 1 pound. Is 1 pound enough, or do you want to lose 5, 10, 15 pounds? Do you want to do it because you think that it's a good idea, or do you want to do it because maybe there's a health reason behind it? So all of those are going to play a role into this vision that you're going to create for yourself, into this New Year's resolution or this goal. Also, you want to be realistic about this vision too. Like saying, okay, I want to lose 55 pounds in January probably is not going to be the most realistic of goals, nor is it the healthiest. I don't think it's very healthy for anyone to lose 55 pounds in January. So you might want to break that down. Like, do you have 55 pounds in total that you want to lose? Well, you might want to break that down. So what does that look like for you in January? What does that look like in February? What does that look like throughout the rest of the year? Be realistic about your goals, but also challenge yourself. Don't say I want to lose weight and I want to lose 2 pounds. And you know that next week you will have lost those 2 pounds, and then you're like, oh, I did my New Year's resolution, I'm done. So make sure that it's challenging enough that it's going to, you know, motivate you to want to do something about it, but also that it's realistic, that you're not just going to give up because it's so hard. Does that make sense? Okay, so once you have established this vision that you have and you've laid it all out in your head, then what you need to do is you need to get a pen and a paper and you need to write it down. And this is a very basic, I feel like it's a basic, just common principle across the board. Everyone will tell you need to write it down. And sure, you can get your smartphone out, you can get your iPhone or, you know, whatever, and you can just type it in there, but there's just something really different about putting ink to paper. It's sort of like having a contract with yourself. Like, know that you value yourself enough to just take 5 minutes and write down these goals. So if one of the goals is I want to lose weight, so write down I want to lose weight, and then under I want to lose weight, lay out those steps. I want to lose 5 pounds by January 31st. I want, etc., etc. Or I want to start adding, you know, 2 fruits and vegetables into my diet on a daily basis. So those little teeny tiny steps, if you break it down on paper, then you'll see that it's really not that hard. 1 serving of leafy greens every single day. That's not that bad. For some people, that's not bad. For some people who hate leafy green vegetables, they may have to start off small. They might need a half a serving or whatever the case may be. But write it down so that you can go back to that and so you can constantly remind yourself of what your goals are. Reminding yourself via what you wrote down is really going to help. And some people, you know, they take a picture, they post it on their mirrors so that they can see it when they're brushing their teeth. They might put it in their car so they can, you know, go through it when they're at a stoplight. Reminding yourself of the commitment that you made to yourself is really going to help, because know that you are worth it. Like, all the changes that you want to make most of the time are for the better. No one says, I want to be a meaner person, or no one says, I want to you know, not study ever again. Like, those are not New Year's resolutions that people make. A lot of times when we make New Year's resolutions, they're to better ourselves. So when you remind yourself of the commitment that you're making to yourself, it's really going to help keep you motivated and strive on to keep going. And this is going to lead into number 3, which is you want to celebrate what you want to see more of. And I'm a big fan of this. And this is just sort of a reward system. So when you have something written down and you see that you've accomplished some of those goals, well, you want to celebrate that. You don't just want to say, okay, great, I did that, and then move on to the next thing. You want to celebrate it because it took some commitment, it took some dedication, it took some time, some planning for you to accomplish this feat. So you want to celebrate that and reward yourself. Now, here's the thing about rewards. You want to make sure that the reward that you're giving yourself is going to be conducive to the end result. This is what I mean. Let's say you want to lose 20 pounds. And let's say for January, one of your goals was to lose 3 pounds, and you lost those 3 pounds in January. So now it's time to celebrate what you want to see more of. Okay. Celebrating that does not mean I should probably go and eat a whole chocolate cake. While that is extremely celebratory in nature, it probably is not going to be conducive to your end goal of losing 20 pounds for the rest of the year. Does that make sense? Now, could you treat yourself to a little something? Sure. But try to make the reward system helpful to what you're trying to do. Maybe instead of rewarding yourself with food, if you're trying to get healthy or lose weight or whatever, you might want to reward yourself by buying a new pair of shoes or buying a new bracelet, or, you know, going out to the movies with your friends or something like that. Getting a pedicure, getting a manicure, those are also great rewards that don't include ruining what you've already accomplished. Not to say that eating chocolate cake is going to just ruin it completely. You can always get on track, but you see what I'm saying. You want to celebrate in a way that's going to be helpful to what you're trying to accomplish. So let's say one of the New Year's resolutions you have is to, you know, get an A on every single test or whatever. Well, great. So let's say you got an A. That doesn't mean, well, I'm not going to study this week. That's not part of the reward system, okay? Because if you want to continue getting A's for the rest of the semester, well, then you're going to have to keep studying. So instead of saying, I'm not going to study for the rest of the week, maybe take an afternoon off, go get coffee with a friend instead of not studying. Or maybe, you know, spend some time studying something that you really want to study, or reading a book that you want to read and not necessarily a school book. So those are ways to celebrate without breaking sort of the good habits that you've already created for yourself. Number 4, this is a big one. This is perseverance. You are going to have to persevere through this because there are a lot of days in the year. There are 365 days in a year, and that is a very long time. Although they say that it takes 21 days to create a habit, you have to expect that there are going to be roadblocks along the way. Roadblocks can come in the form of lack of motivation. Sometimes you just don't want to do it. Like, for example, brushing your teeth. You know you have to brush your teeth, but there are some times where I wake up in the morning and I just don't feel like brushing my teeth. I mean, is it so wrong to not feel like brushing my teeth? But I know that I have to do it, so I'm going to go and I'm going to do it anyway. There are shadows on my face, I'm sorry. I'm going to go and I'm going to do it anyway because it's something that I have to do. So lack of motivation might be one of them. Lack of seeing the results that you want. Maybe, you know, you've been at the gym every single day for an hour and a half for the past 2 weeks and you have not lost any poundage. Well, that doesn't mean that you aren't doing something great for your body. It doesn't mean that you aren't retraining your body to do something that it's supposed to do, which is be healthy and be in shape. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer to lose weight for some people, or you might have to adjust what you're doing or seek some counsel. And you know, it doesn't mean that you give up because you're not seeing the exact result that you want to see in the time frame that you want to see it. Does that make sense? So with perseverance, you have to be patient with yourself. Again, you're not going to see the results that you want to see, and even though you're putting in all the work, you might, you know, say, I want to get an A, and you've studied every single day, but then you're not, you took a test and you didn't get an A, you got a B minus, and you're like, what the heck, I thought I studied. Well, it's okay. Sometimes you have to develop good habits to get to your goal, and those habits take a while to create. So don't get down on yourself or get frustrated if you're not seeing the results right away. It's gonna come, you just have to be a little bit patient. Also, there are gonna be people in your life who are not necessarily gonna be the most enthusiastic about your goals. They're gonna wanna see you fail. It's true. And these could be the people that are closest to you. These could be your family members. These could be your friends. Some people just don't want to see others succeed because they have their own personal issues. Rather than trying to help them deal with their issues, just try to block out the negativity. Because there are going to be people who are going to talk down to you about it. Like, let's say you've lost 5 pounds. They're not going to compliment you on the accomplishment. They're not going to acknowledge it. And all you want is some sort of affirmation that it happened, but they're not going to do that. So just know that those people do exist in the world, and some of those people probably exist in your life, and you're just going to have to, I'm not saying cut them out of your life, I'm just saying try to eliminate the negative energy that they're giving off. So if they're giving off negative energy, well, and you're talking to them on the phone, they just say, hey, can I call you back, or whatever the case may be. Or sometimes you might just have to be like, hey, like, those words really don't help me. It's really a struggle for me to try to lose weight, and I would just appreciate it if you were more positive about it, or whatever the case may be. You might have to just figure that out with trial and error, but just know that those people are going to come into your life. And this is going to play into number 5. This is why number 5 is so important. Number 5 is you need to have accountability. Because there are those negative people in your life. On the flip side, there are probably going to be some people who are awesome and who are going to be your biggest cheerleaders. Those are the people that you want. So accountability is somebody that you can be really transparent with. You can talk about your struggles, talk about your fears, talk about what you're going through, and they're going to encourage you and they're going to cheer you on. They're not going to be like, oh, well, that sucks. Those people are probably not going to be the best accountability partners. You want accountability partners who are going to listen and who are going to cheer you on, but who are also going to, light a fire under your butt if you're slacking off. So if you were supposed to go to the gym for the past 4 days and you didn't go to the gym, well, then someone who's holding you accountable is going to be like, hey, Sally, did you go to the gym today? It's been 4 days. What's the deal? You told me that you want to get healthy. You told me you want to get in shape. You told me you wanted to run a marathon, but kind of have to train for that. So that is what an accountability partner does. Amongst other things, but that's really what it is. And you can find that, maybe it can be your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister or your best friend or your teacher or whatever. Like, you can find an accountability partner in anyone, as long as they are willing to commit to the cause as much as you're willing to commit to the cause. Does that make sense? And along with accountability, they also provide or can help provide inspiration. So whatever, inspires you to keep going, they can either encourage you with that, or you may have to find your own inspiration. This could come along with step 1 as well, which is writing it down. You might need to write down or take snapshots or take pictures or whatever to find inspiration that's going to help you propel yourself towards that goal. So let's go through all of those one more time. Number 1, have a clear-cut vision. Number 2, write it down. Number 3, you want to celebrate what you want to see more of. Number 4, persevere even through all the negative stuff. And number 5, have accountability. So hopefully those tips can help you keep going so that when you get to December 31st, you can say, I did it and I stayed motivated throughout. Now understand that there are going to be ups and downs and roller coasters throughout the year. But if you're committed to yourself, then I'm sure that you can reach your goal in one way, shape, or form. But know that you yourself, you're worth it, and any commitment that you give to yourself, any contract that you make with yourself is going to be worth the effort. Putting time and energy into yourself is always worth the effort. It's always worth it to make yourself a better person. So good luck with all of your New Year's resolutions, and let me know how those New Year's resolutions are going. If you need somebody to encourage you or to be your biggest cheerleader, I am your biggest cheerleader. I am more than happy to do that. Send me a message on Twitter, send me a message on Facebook or YouTube, and all of my links will be down below, but I will be more than happy to say, hey, you can do it. You can do it. I'm really easy to contact. I usually have my phone with me at all times. So anytime you need a little pick me up, if you're like, hey, I really do not feel like going to the gym today, I just need like some sort of word of encouragement, I can do my best to help you, and let's just help each other. So let's all just be a part of this journey together as we go through 2013 and even beyond. Because I think that you can take all of these tips into whatever goal that you have for the rest of your life. So again, good luck guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.